Welcome, my fellow gamers, to a showcase of 20 upcoming simulation management and tycoon games in late 2021, 2022, and beyond. We have found for you quite a number of new games with fresh ideas, cool gameplay mechanics, original art styles in every possible setting, as well as a few sequels. In these games, you will get to create a new home for dinosaurs, make pizzas and a restaurant empire, manage a quirky university or an outer space starbase, lead the remains of humanity or just one lonely dude after an apocalypse, make villages medieval style, with and without man-eating monsters, run a casino for animals, and so much more. My name is Amanda, and I'm happy to be back here on Peter's channel to talk about all these amazing games we will get to play soon. This is in fact my favorite strategy subgenre, so I'm just as excited as you are to get started. We have not only one, but two dinosaur management games to show you during this video. The first is Jurassic World Evolution 2. It is a sequel to Frontier Development's 2018 movie-inspired, groundbreaking, and immersive dinosaur park builder and manager. This one will introduce a new narrative campaign, several new features, and for the first time, flying and marine dinosaurs. The construction and customization options are also getting expanded to allow you to build bigger, better, and more authentic Jurassic parks for over 75 different prehistoric species. If you've played Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo from the same developers, you're familiar with the gameplay. The sequel introduces brand new behaviors for dinosaur interactions, fighting for dominance, and reacting intelligently to the world around them. Players can use bioengineering to customize their animals with new colors and patterns, as well as to alter their genomes to unlock different traits. Besides launching on PC, the games will also be released on the last two generations of Xbox and PlayStation with 4 gameplay modes to play in. The campaign, with an original Jurassic World narrative set after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Then you have the Chaos Theory mode with what-if scenarios from the iconic Jurassic World and Jurassic Park films. In addition, you can play in the Challenge and Sandbox modes, testing your skills with a range of progressively more difficult challenges, or simply unleashing your creativity in an unrestricted playground. Another game which features just as an imaginative playground is 2 Point Campus from the developers behind 2 Point Hospital, called, wait for it, 2 Point Studios. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did ya? As opposed to running a hospital, in this game, players get to build a university with new creative tools and hire staff, from eccentric professors to madcap researchers who will teach wild courses to bright young minds. Here, you are not limited to libraries and other dull indoor construction because there's an entire campus for you to build on. You can fill the whole outside educational environment with top-notch teaching facilities, down to the detail of individual trees, fountains, and sculptures. The power of the sandbox experience is strong in this one, but there's an actual budget and finance management, meaning you can only build as long as you are profitable. Console gamers will be happy to know that they'll be able to enjoy this one too. Because 2 Point games are really quirky, your students can enjoy a range of wild and wonderful courses like night school, complete with jousting, or gastronomy, featuring giant pizzas and enormous pies. The main objective is to help your students reach their maximum academic potential, but to also develop a healthy social life through the careful molding of their open minds. You can get to know individual students, explore their personalities, wants, and needs. This will help you keep them happy with clubs, societies, and even side gigs. Now for the last sequel on the list, here's Frostpunk 2. The developers from 11-Bit Studios have made millions of us very happy with its announcement. The story continues from about 30 years from where we left off, but the setting transitions from steampunk into oil punk? No wait, diesel punk? Well, punk something in any event. The Earth is still a frozen snow globe with frostbite as common as the, well, common cold. The weather hasn't improved much either. You as the player once again manage a resource-hungry metropolis where expansion and search for new resources of power is a constant struggle. After the age of coal comes the oil extraction industry in an attempt to conquer Frostland and to fix all of the problems with black gold. This major shift does not come about easily, so you can expect pushback from the multi-layered society used to the old ways of coal and steam. With this, the developers plan to put us into even more difficult moral dilemmas in the sequel. Do you keep your humanity and risk survival, or do you sacrifice it at the altar of Frost for the greater good? And what is good then? This will be a common theme in all of your choices, be they about politics, society, or technological progress. It's basically a conflict between humans and their inner nature. But while in Frostpunk, technology progress is measured against the human factor, in Captain of Industry, there are no such breaks. This is a full-blown factory construction and management simulator from Mafia Games, which will enter early access on Steam very soon. The minimal backstory tells us that you and your loyal crew have escaped to an abandoned island to start a new colony as the world spiraled into chaos. In order to survive there, you need to mine raw materials, harvest food, build factories, manufacture products, construct vehicles, research new technologies, and explore the island. The production chain and tech goes so far that you can even start a space program, build rockets, and assemble your own space station. But to get to such heights, you must first start with the basics. Smelt iron, mix concrete, and grow food. Graduate to oil, electronics, and data centers, and then look to the sky. For all you Satisfactory fans, yes, there are conveyor belts in this one. But to one-up that game, in Captain of Industry, you can reshape the whole terrain, bulldoze mountains, dig holes, make ramps, bridges, and even take land back from the ocean. Of all the other gameplay elements, the two that stick out the most are the construction of new vehicles and naval combat with your upgradable flagship. From this island-based colony, let's move to a mountain one. The lone developer at Rocket Jump Technology with his few artists is crafting a fantasy simulation-based settlement builder called King Under the Mountain. Your job as the future monarch is to build and grow a colony from humble beginnings until you can control your own kingdom. The world in which you play is based on a series of interwoven systems which simulate a living, breathing world. There is a day-night cycle, rainfall, plants grow during the spring, and wither in the winter. Your subjects have their own personal, social, and physical needs that you'll have to fulfill to keep them happy. Every map is procedurally generated, while the art assets are designed to give nature a less copy-pasted look through the color variations and other design choices. There are several factions in the game, and conflict is an option. Not only can you play with different races like dwarves, humans, or orcs, but you can also specialize your village. Dig deep into a mountain and become a mining colony, spread around a river and do farming, or hunt, raid, craft, whatever strikes your fancy. This game is designed as mod-friendly, and you can upload copies of your own playthroughs for other players to explore in turn-based tactical combat encounters. This lets everyone claim rare resources that may be difficult or impossible to acquire otherwise. For those of you who want a more difficult challenge, you may want to wait for the survival builder by the developers at Wild Forest Studios titled Night is Coming. Inspired by Slavic mythology and the mystique of the Carpathian region, this game pits your puny humans against all sorts of monsters and scary mythological creatures. These attack your village every winter in ever-increasing numbers. The settlement management mechanics are just the basis of this game, where you assign roles, gather resources, provide your settlers with food, clothes, and shelter, recruit even more settlers, and teach them cooking, farming, mining, and other crafts. They will explore the lands around the settlements and look for rare resources. Each of these settlers have their own characteristics, abilities, needs, attributes, skill levels, and an unusual stat called Spirit, which makes them stronger or weaker. You'll have to protect and upgrade your settlers, as well as equip them to fight countless monsters and beasts obsessed with destroying their home. To put an end to this threat, you must destroy the local baron and move to new lands. The look and feel of Night is Coming is full of contrasts. Sunrise and sunsets, birds, elemental spirits, dynamic weather, and seasonal shifts, leading to cold and dark winters with snowstorms and blizzards full of terrors. Now, have you ever heard of Sailpunk? Well, me neither, but apparently that's the setting of Diluvian Winds. It's an upcoming 2D adventure simulation manager from developer Alembic Studio. Here, you help out stranded animals in exchange for them keeping your lighthouse from going under the waves. The animal look of these characters is quite stylized, so I'd rather not guess which animal species these are, but maybe you could help me with that in the comments? Anyways, the main protagonist is the Guardian, an individual who, refusing to leave his lighthouse, will witness a mass exodus. The main villain of this game is the rising water level leading to a huge flood. As each new refugee arrives at your shore, you can choose to help them or not. This means you will experience countless stories with procedurally generated events and characters. The different survival paths will be open to the Guardian as a way to adapt his lighthouse to withstand this impending flood. These changes of varying magnitudes, which the refugees will facilitate around the lighthouse, will make it more resilient to the gradually rising waters. While role-playing as the Guardian, you will choose how to expand your community and keep everything in one piece by floating, flying, or even submerging it. Going back to the world of humans, how about we look at a sandbox economic simulation game about class struggle? In Kapital, Sparks of Revolution, you will find yourself in a European country which is having a deep political post-war crisis. Created by a developer studio by the name of Lapovich Team, this game sets you up as a mayor of the capital just as the flames of social unrest start to develop. As this is a hybrid of a city builder and society management game, your goal is to restore the city to former glory by managing limited resources, resolving social conflicts, and overcoming crisis situations. The population of this city is made up of 3 classes. You have the rich and educated nobles, then the bourgeois, which are the new local businessmen, and workers as the uneducated commoners. Naturally, each class has different needs, which rarely coincide with each other. Beyond trying to balance these, you have to rebuild the city, NecroCity. And to make things harder, the post-war country is low on resources, so you have to choose who to give them to. Food and shelter are the basics, and everyone wants those. As you inevitably wrong one or more groups, the unsatisfied people will protest and riot in the streets. Torches, pitchforks, and some other farming and construction implements will be raised against you quite quickly. The decision of which class to support and which to suppress won't be easy or straightforward. But you know what is easy? Supporting this channel by hitting that like button, telling us in the comments which of these games you're most looking forward to, and becoming a subscriber if you're not one already. We promise to drop more such videos in your subscription feed if you do so. But let's continue with the games on this one. First, I'm going to show you about half a dozen games which still have a long way to go, but are worth keeping your eye on. Then, I'll tell you about more games which are further down the development path and will likely come out soon. The Pioneers Surviving Desolation is the first science fiction survival simulation and management game of this list. It's being developed by Supercube, and in it, players will get to build their own long-term space station on Io, the innermost moon of Jupiter. There, volcanoes, seismic activity, and magnetic storms will constantly threaten your crew members. In spite of this, you have to collect resources and produce food and water to keep your crew alive, healthy, and efficient while exploring the planet with a rover and flying drone. The station is upgradable with many science and engineering systems to help you achieve your mission of finding new energy sources for the corporation which sent you here. Back on our own comfortable planet, here's the first tycoon game of this list. Pizza Empire. The developers from the aptly named Big Cheese Studio plan to send back our pizza cookbook and criminal ties to the city of New York during the 90s. The city is divided into separate areas, each with different customers who have different fancies, expectations, and tastes. This will make expanding into new territory a fresh challenge for every stage of the game. You can ally yourself with one of the mobs, drive out the competition, and leave people with no choice but to love your pizza, with your cheese, or in it, so to speak. A somewhat different management sim set to the medieval age is Anvil Saga by the developers at Prehistoric Studio. This one even has some RPG elements as you manage a blacksmith shop amidst the 100 Years' War. Starting from a shack, you employ workers, develop their skills, improve facilities, add new rooms and tools while dealing with local bandits, lords, priests, and soldiers of both sides. Orders for your merchandise will come from far and wide, friend and foe, so exquisite craftsmanship as well as balancing your fame and rating will be the only thing keeping your head on its shoulders. The second game in which you manage dinosaurs, but also other previously extinct animals, is titled Prehistoric Kingdom. Its developers over at Blue Meridian will put you in charge of the ultimate zoo for animals from a wide range of biomes and time periods, from the majestic woolly mammoth to the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. Not only will you construct animal shelters and all the necessary infrastructure, but you will also need to craft the entire landscape and topography of the park by growing jungles, carving rivers, and raising mountains across the enormous playable area. I know many of you want more original and unique games, and I think Arboreal might just be that. The developers at Core Loop have designed a game in which you play a tree. Yes, literally a tree. From being a little seedling to having a massive trunk and huge canopy. You cultivate and cook various fruit species to receive help from the forest inhabitants and spirits while creating automatic production lines with tracks and machines in and on your trunk. The idea is to host these inhabitants in your tree and let them do all the work in exchange for a safe place to live and a meal each day. This is exactly how natural symbiosis works. Since this wouldn't be a good sim manager game list without a god game in it, here's WorldBox. The developer behind this game, Maxim Karpenko, is bravely calling it the ultimate god simulator and sandbox game. This game lets players design their own living world to rule over, populating it with animals, humans, and fantasy races like orcs, elves, and dwarves. Your godly powers include lightning, tornadoes, acid rain, meteorites, plague, and no, I am not kidding, nukes, dragons, and UFOs. As if that wasn't far enough out for you, there's even a giant crabzilla that you can control yourself. This is a tough act to follow, so I'm not even gonna try. Let's tone the skill down with I Am Future by the developers at Mandragora. Here you are a lone survivor with a cyborg hand scraping by in a sunken city. The only safe places are rooftops of skyscrapers. This is where you build a home for yourself, one tool, workbench, and drone at a time. You can even upload AIs into buildings to have someone to talk to. Fishing and gardening provide the food, and if you don't want to become a meal yourself, learn to defend your base against highly evolved natural predators. Going back to games which currently have more to show, I want to talk about IXION. This game has a number of different game mechanics mixed in, from city building to population management with survival elements to exploration and space station management. The developers from Bulwark Studio set you up as the administrator of the space station charged with the task of finding a new home for humanity as Earth can no longer sustain you. Keeping the station in one piece and flying will require a diligent mind and strategic thinking, as you're constantly being pulled between maintaining the hull integrity, bringing in new resources, and managing power consumption. The crew of this station is in no way homogeneous, and some of them don't even want to be on it, so mutiny is a real danger. The station itself is divided into 6 unlocked sectors, each able to house more population and support new kinds of jobs. Players can modify it, improve it, construct new buildings, while there are hazards such as hull breaches, power overloads, and electrical fires. Your population is full of scientists, so researching new tech or building probes, mining, and cargo ships won't be a problem. These you will use to trade, reveal hidden resources, other space stations, secrets, and threats, as well as use to bring other survivors to your station. Another game on this list that plays like Dwarf Fortress, RimWorld, and my personal favorite, going medieval, is titled Clanfolk. The developers from Min-Max Games Limited are creating what they say is the most historically accurate colony and life simulation. But you already know what kind of game this is by one look at it, especially if you've played the aforementioned games. So what makes this one any different? Well, the art and graphics of course, but here we're more interested in game mechanics. In Clanfolk, lighting is an actual factor, as well as beauty and bad odors. Here, windows actually change and influence ambient light of rooms. Warmth is also more important, with wall torches and fires not only heating, but also lighting up and occasionally even burning down houses. Ventilation of buildings is also a working game mechanic, with warmth moving from room to room and actively being generated by body heat from your clanfolk. Farming is a bit more complex than just planting, while other production chains, including animal husbandry, have a long list of steps. Clanfolk have individual skills and they reproduce, inherit traits from parents, grow from babies to juveniles, and turn into adults and later seniors. So there's actual genealogies here. There are also other clans, trade, reputation, and a bunch of other systems that you're familiar with from similar games. This is a long list of strategy games, so I'm happy to add another Tycoon game for you here. It's all about managing your own casino full of staff, guests, and unique VIPs, which are actually crazy cute animals. Developed by Homo Ludens, Blooming Business Casino lets you design, build, and run the snazziest casino in a bustling world where the sky's the limit. Your goal is to maximize visitor satisfaction and happiness with your venues while juggling their increasingly complicated demands. There are also VIP visitors, which are unique, each with a backstory of their own, as well as special needs, goals, and desires which you will have to learn in order to make their stay enjoyable for them and profitable for you. The choice of your staff and how you manage them is always important, as that will directly impact guest satisfaction with your casino. The look and feel of the surroundings is another important factor. You can customize it not only directly in the game, but by using the same tools as the dev team to create your own custom items, decorations, and characters. Sharing these with the wider community is also available. You'll have access to slot machines, card tables, and all the other casino staples, but you'll also have the opportunity to go deeper into the management side of gambling by setting up these games as you like and by managing the house edge. To make both a change of scenery and setting, I want to take you to space once again and into a colony builder and manager called Solargene. Its single developer, Alexander Semenov, is focused on giving you a new experience and complete with realistic physics of orbital flights. The game is quite vast, and it encompasses building of space stations, interplanetary ships, and colonies. These can be made on both planets and moons inside our solar system, and the mission is to extract resources and explore new technologies. You will start at humanity's cradle by assembling a space station in Earth's orbit using a very flexible construction system. Once equipped with proper engines, it turns into a massive spaceship which can take you from the moon all the way to Uranus and Neptune. As you develop your network of colonies and fill them with new astronauts, they will start to trade with Earth. But there are also many space dangers to watch out for, radiation being the top hazard, while food and water availability being a close second. Even robots aren't immune to the hazards of space, especially due to solar flares and battery failure. But you know who doesn't have battery, power, or food problems? The dead. And monsters too. No, I'm not going to present a graveyard manager to you. Oh, wait, scratch that. I am. But it's not as ominous as you might think. NecroCity is a cemetery building / economic strategy game with a defense and combat system featuring skeletons, werewolves, goblins, zombies, ghosts, and other monsters. These are your actual citizens whose needs and wants you'll have to fulfill. The developers at GamePeric have developed this half scary, half funny, dark city in a fantasy land of humans and monsters, but But you can also leave the boundaries of your city and conquer your neighbors. Players get to lay roads, construct tombs, crypts, and fortifications, including defense turrets and various types of traps. Advanced buildings include a necromancer mansion and an undead sanctuary. There is an in-game book in which the behaviors, habits, and skills of your citizen monsters are explained, and this will help you manage them effectively. It's a game where the tables are completely turned around, and it's the monsters who are trying to live peacefully, while humans show up at the gates with torches, pitchforks, and even heavily armed knights. I do hope you've enjoyed this showcase of upcoming simulation and management games, and that you stick around to check out some of the other videos on this channel visible here as cards on the screen. Thank you for watching, and happy gaming!